Hey everyone, it's your girl Damo, and I am so happy that you came here to watch my video. Today we will be doing a neutral look and something real cute and simple for every day. Um, so yeah, let's jump right into it. Okay, so before I do everything, I like to put on some moisturizer on my lips. So today I'll be using the Rose Petal soft lip cream. You can see right here. Um, Lately I've been putting it on during the nighttime, and when I wake up, my lips are nice and moisturized. Sometimes I'll use this or the Laneige, however you pronounce it, and keep that on. I like them both, but this smells like roses. I'm not usually like a whole flower scent person, but I don't know, it just smells really good. So put that on. Keeps my lips moisturized throughout the whole process. And yeah. Next I like to apply a primer. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But because I have it, and this is probably one of the only primers that I've actually finished, or I'm close to finishing. It's the Fenty Beauty True Matte Pro Filter Primer. And yeah, I don't know, I really like this one. And it's been working really well. If I don't use primer, I just stick to my moisturizer, which is usually Embryolisse. That works wonders, honestly. Like, primers are usually overrated, and here I am using a primer. But primers are like overrated. You can get your nice moisturizer, and bada boom, bada bing. So I know a lot of people will probably be against this, but just on my eyebrows, I like to apply some calamine lotion. I have it in a little bottle, and I will put it on a cotton round and apply it just on my brows, simply because, being that I am dark skinned, obviously, I feel like a lot of brow pencils, like sometimes they don't show up, one, and two, it does help keep the brows, matte, even though I don't do brows first, but that's a whole nother story. But a lot of brow pencils, they look like nothing on like my skin tone and darker. So lately, I mean, the Fenty one was good, but lately I've been using the Morphe brow pencil, and also Absolute New York is a great brow pencil too. But surprisingly, even though Absolute New York's brow pencils are in beauty supply stores, Morphe's brow pencils are much cheaper. I think Morphe's go for like $3 or $4, and Absolute New York, at least in New York, in Brooklyn, it's like $6, $7, maybe $8. So yeah, and I use the shade Java. So I'll just brush mine up, and I like to do at least just the bottom of my brows first. So I don't do all my brows, the whole brow, first, because I feel like brows last longer after foundation. So I just do the bottom and conceal. And I feel like it just makes everything so much easier, if you ask me. And then I just draw some strokes. Nothing too hard. and do the same for the other side. To conceal my brows, usually I would use my LA Girl Pro. I only like this to conceal the brow, but the quarantine and all the beauty supply stores, they're closed, so I gotta work with what I have. And I came back to my good old faithful MAC. Hope it could go and focus real quick. There it is. So I have these in my kit, and I have these for myself. But you know, when you get a whole bunch of new makeup products, you tend to forget the old things. And I was like, let me pull it back out, because why not? It's makeup, it's hair. I'm gonna use it. And then when I used it, I was like, yes. It'll never fail you. Like, it's really one of those things. So, and I feel like it really is a good buy. It has 6 shades in it. Well, 4 shades, and then the 2 correctors. I usually like to dip into MW45. Sometimes NC50. I like to mix those 2 together. If I want to be dramatic, I'll go for the NC45, but I don't know. I don't really care to use it. If anything, I'll probably use it when I'm done my whole face and just to brighten up the edges of my brow. But for right now, it's going to be NW45 and NC50. And then I use my Morphe N224 brush to conceal. And you make sure that you cover both sides of your brush. It makes the job so much easier. And I feel like this brush is like the perfect shape. And then you just take your time, conceal. Okay. And then of course you do for the other side. And I do the other side off camera. For my eye base, I like to use the P. Louise base. This is in Rumor number 2. And I'll apply that on my lid, all over my lid. You can use concealer. I just like to use this base or any of the light bases. Honestly, you can even use the... You don't have the light shade for nothing. You can use it. But I just like to use the P. Louise one, and I'll apply on both eyes. And because this is a neutral look, you really can't get away with just using concealer and, you know, going from there. And then I like to take my Real Techniques brush. This is kind of beat up, but who's telling me anything? Nobody. So it is what it is. It does the job that it needs to do, and it has been doing the job that it needs to do. And sometimes I like to go underneath my eye as well for when I put a liner or smoke it out a little bit. So I just blend out that concealer. I mean the P. Louise base, my bad, all over the eye. I like to make sure it's even, there's no patches. And let me just bring it down underneath. Tends to look a little messy, but I kid you not, everything usually comes together at the end. Okay? So once I've done all of that, I like to take the same brush that I've blended out my concealer with, and just blend out the base. You don't want it to look crazy, because once you put eyeshadow on, you will be able to see. If you don't blend it out, you'll see where one ends and where one starts back. Okay. Boom. There you go. Now I'm gonna go into my little palette that I've made of a whole bunch of eyeshadows. They have I have Makeup Geek in here, Suva Beauty, and I believe some Makeup Forever. This is a Makeup Forever case. And when I look up, it starts to crease. So you just gonna pat back over those creases. And I will take one of my fluffy brushes that I have here. Boom. And I will take, we'll start light. So I'm going to take a light brown shadow. This is from Makeup Geek, and this is in the shade Cocoa Bear. And I will just pat in a circular motion a little bit above my crease, like so. And with shadows, you usually have to go back a few times so you can get the right amount of, I don't even know the word, but you want it to show. So you gotta go back. Okay? And once I do that, I'll just take the same brush and you know what, I'll take a clean brush. And some people use a different color. I mean, you can, but I'll just use this clean brush and just blend out the top portion. Honestly, it makes the job a little easier. And if I have to go back, I'll go right back in the brown shadow with the same brush that I used the first time. And just go back. So that I can get it to look as dark as I want it to look. And then if I need to blend again, go back, blend. I'm going to go back with the brush that I used to blend out the P. Louise. I'll go back and just kind of erase some of the brown shadow from the beginning. And if I need to, I'll take just a little bit. Like, you really don't need a lot of the eyeshadow base. So it can kind of cancel out some of the brown shadow that we used before. And when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. And that way, when I apply my lighter eyeshadow, you all will be able to see the difference. I mean, you'll probably see the difference regardless, but I do like to add the P. Louise to just give it that extra oomph. I'm taking the eyeshadow from MAC. It's called TT, a tint. You can use any of their lighter, this color. Hope you're able to see it. Let's see. There it is, right? And I'll take one of my flatter brushes. I like the flat, fluffy brushes, like these. And I will apply it right here. And that way it goes on a little bit more even compared to if I were to use like a thinner brush. I like how it goes on with the fluffy brush a little bit more. And what I will do is go back with the first brush and just kind of go in that crease and apply more shadow so you could kind of see a little bit of the difference. And I'll dip into a shade that's just a little bit darker. It's from Makeup Geek, and this is in the shade Aphrodite. And just a little bit. And I'll be careful, make sure I go in the crease. In the crease. Gave me a little bit more depth. If you get what I'm saying. You want to be light-handed, y'all. And if you feel like you got a little bit too low, you go back with that, with the lighter shade. I'm trying to get in my crease. If you want to be extra, you could go with a little black, but I just want to keep it to the browns. You just keep layering till you get it to the darkness that you desire. And then I will go back with my blending brush and just blend out the top part. And then I'll go back one more time with the TT A Tint. As you know, sometimes it be getting covered up by the browns and So we did that, and then I'm gonna just take my brush that I use for the browns and just smoke out my ends a little bit. I'm going to use my Juvia's Place concealer. I use the shade 10, and I shall apply like so. Then I'll apply down here, here, and above here. Look crazy. And then I take my Real Techniques brush and I'll blend it out. Now see how that concealer works, and then underneath my eye doesn't look as messy anymore. Next, I'll take my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. And this is in the shade 8 and 1. I like to put my foundation on my metal spatula. Love this. Love this. Oh my goodness. And especially now with the whole corona thing going on, this is the perfect tool to have. because you won't get it all in your hands. You all know how our hands, well, if you do makeup, you know how the hands look after. Nobody wants to be walking around with foundation on their hands. So it's just cleaner and it's more sanitary. And then I take my MAC brush and then I'll apply on my face. Okay, and you go over the concealer. And I like to work piece by piece on my face. So I blend one side out. And then I'll keep going. Go on the other side and then apply and work my way around my whole face. Before I set, I like to do the little contour. I got the Fenty Beauty cream. It's supposed to be a bronzer, but it's not. I got the shade Toffee Tease. This is, when I tried it, it definitely had it wasn't harsh at all. So I feel like on camera, it probably would not show as much. And this is the last shade. But it does give a nice little contour, nothing crazy. And I'm using the Fenty brush. To set everything, I like to use the Ben Nye Luxury Powder. This is in the shade, what does it say? Beige Suede. I feel like every person who, like, when they first got into makeup, they used the Ben Nye Banana. And when I used that, it was a no-go. And I did not touch the Ben Nye powders for a long time. It's till I went to Alcone, I was like, all right, let me go back and try it. Because a lot of times when you first starting out makeup, you buying all these pro stuff and you don't know what to do with it. So certain things you have to revisit when you've really figured out makeup. So that's what I decided to do. I got it and I love it. Mind you, this powder probably costs, I don't think it costs more than $20. So you're getting, this is pro stuff. So it works. It's really good. Instead of paying like $40 and all that nonsense for some powder. Nobody don't got time for that. Good price. And it's luxury. You know. So I'll apply all over with my brush. And I don't bake. I just pick some up and pat it in. And it works phenomenally. And then blush. Now, I love me a good blush. I really do. And I feel like NARS has the best blushes on the market. Like, the color, the pigment, it's amazing. And honestly, a little goes a long way. This is from their newest collection. It's a nice orangish color. Has a little shimmer. This is in the shade Savage. Ain't that perfect? I'm a savage. Classy, bougie. No, let me stop. So I use my MAC brush. I use this brush for blush. And really a little bit. Like 2 pats. And then I smile. Do my fake little smile. And then I just pat. And this probably was a little too much, honestly. And just kind of apply and blend out. So I apply my blush and then I apply Laura Mercier Seduction highlight. This highlight is like mad good. Like I would add it to my kit if it wasn't so expensive, but it's mad expensive, so I just keep it for myself. And then I apply on the ball of my nose, right here on that arch. And then when it's time, do my fake smile again. This fake smile comes in really handy when you want to apply things to the walls of the cheek, because all your cheekbone starts to accentuate. Is that the right word? It might be. So you do that and just apply, apply, apply. Okay. Now, I don't care for like a bold, dramatic brow. Like, I've gotten to that point where I just don't care for it. So when I draw my brows over my foundation, it comes off a little more natural, if you know that's the right word. But you can definitely see a difference when you do brows before and conceal the top as well versus when you do brows after foundation. I know that's usually like a whole argument, but once I've realized how like light and natural the brow looks, I had to switch over. I had to. So I brushed my brows out and just going back a little bit. So what I'll do now is follow my brow. Now some people just do the light strokes, but I do like to draw my little line. You know, I haven't really gotten my brows done, so you do light strokes. Okay. And once I've drawn it over, I just draw light strokes. Honestly, my job is done. The brow is done. Probably make the top part just a little darker. But baby, it's done. Boom. Like, I ain't playing no games. It make my life so much easier. Now for lashes, I'm using some lashes from my lash line. It's called Beauty Lash. And this is in the lash name. That doesn't make sense. This is the lash is called Kiyomi. And I love these lashes. Like, these are really the only lashes I use. I'm a firm believer in, if you're going to sell a product, you have to make sure that you love your product. Like, if I didn't like it, I would not sell it to people. Like, that doesn't even make sense. I'm just going to air dry it like this. And you're just going to apply. I use the shade Richie. Usually I would use NYX Espresso, but because I don't see where it is right now, I use this. This is a little more cool toned, so compared to the NYX one, the NYX is a little more warm. So I'll just do a light hand with this. Then I'll apply my MAC. This is like the lip tensities, and this is in the shade Driftwood. It got messed up. I'm so sad, but this is a nice. Oh, this has got to come off. This is a nice, like I don't know, rose mauve shade. It's looking crazy. This is why liner is essential. Just line. Okay. Then I'll go over with my Pat McGrath. This is in the shade Love Potion lip gloss. I love like a lip gloss lipstick combo. And bada boom, bada bang. This is the look right here. Real simple, nothing crazy. This is like an everyday look. You can, if you don't wear lashes, you can just take off the lashes. You're still gonna look amazing. Like, this look is it. Thank you for joining me and watching my first tutorial back in this whole YouTube world. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That is the important one, to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I really hope to see you next time. Later.